welcome to biology class. So we're talking about biology, particularly the meaning or definition of biology. I want to talk about biology as we all know. It is one of the natural science subjects offered in schools, particularly in senior secondary school and higher institutions like College of Education, polytechnics and universities alike. So I want to talk about biology. Biology originated from a Greek word. So it originated from two Greek words. We have what we call bio and logy. So this serves as the origin of the word biology. I want to talk about bio simply means life and logy simply means studies. So by direct Greek interpretation, biology simply means the studies of life or life in studies. That is life in studies, that is a subject or a natural subject that teaches about life. And then the concept of biology has been defined by different teachers, by different biologists, with different so let us consider the definition of biology. Biology is defined as a science subject which studies the origin and life in its structure, classification, evolution, and habits of all living organisms. So this simply means that biology tells us about the origin, and not just origin, then the origin of life and life in their structures. I want to talk of structure. It means the way different species that has life in them look like, then the classification, and that's what we have what we call kingdoms. We have different kingdoms that different living things belongs to. Then we also talk about evolution. Evolution has to do with the source of living things. So biology goes to the source of all living things. How man metamorphosed, or how man is giving birth to, how different living things came to be. Talks about the evolution. Then habit. The habit means the composition, the characterization of the living things or the living organism we are talking about. So biology talks about habits. How human behaves, how animal behaves, how this behaves, how different species behave in their different kingdoms. Biology talks about all this. Then also, we can also define biology. Also, or alternatively, biology is a scientific study of all living matters in their different kingdoms. So biology is a scientific study. Now when I say something is scientific, biology is not theoretical in nature. It means that it involves practical knowledge. And that's why biology is a branch of knowledge that deals with living matters or living organisms. So we also have the concept of biology. Then we can also look at biology in two concepts. And as we all know, we'll talk of living matters. Living matters are divided into two. We have what we call the plants, and then we also have what we call animals. And of all, plant is a living organism. So biology talks about plants. Then animal is also a living organism. Biology talks about animals in their different kingdoms or in their various kingdoms. And under these animals, this is where we belong to as a human being. Then we also have the animal itself or the animal themselves. And of course, as a human, we belong to what we call the social animals. Biology tells us this. Then also, biology has two basic scopes. Scope of biology or branches of biology. The first scope of biology is botany. Then we also have zoology. So botany is the scientific study of plants. So when we talk about botany, it has to do with plants, and we've said that living organisms divided into plants. So don't forget that. Then we talk about zoology. Zoology is the scientific study of animals. And a person who studies zoology is called zoologist. That is the name given to a person who studies zoology. And then also zoology is the study of animals. Remember that we say animals can be looked at in two phases: human or man, then animal itself. So this is the basic introduction to the concept of biology.